Oh my God, the Duckman's back. That's right. Welcome back to DuckmanCycles VW Garage. I'm your host, the Duckman. We're back today with my Beetle, and I've been working on this door, as you remember, and the last time you saw me work on it was almost a week ago. So just where has the Duckman been for all this time? If you've been watching my other channel, you'll see that I had a mail call video and I got a bunch of really good presents. And needless to say, that's what kept me busy the whole week. But to be honest with you, what's really gone on is just I've been really busy with a lot of stupid people's problems, just doing things for other people that just, yeah, no time for myself. I mean, here it is. It's my day off. It's already 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm just finally getting started. So, just, yeah, I've had enough. I've had enough. I'm about to have a breakdown here. I'm just having an overload of everybody else's stupid BS. It's time for me to focus on my own projects and try to get something done. I'm probably going to be seeing Earl soon, and I think he said this weekend. So we may have some videos with the two of us together. And if so, I'm going to have him walk around the car and talk about it, of course, while he's here visiting. But what we need to do today is we need to cut into this door section over here and get this fixed, modified, changed, and finalized. Let's see what we got here. If you remember the other day, we got this thing working, and it works pretty good. It clears until it hits the gutter. And I want to take those hinges and I want to move them a few millimeters closer to me. I want to move them just a few millimeters further into the A-pillar. So just a couple of cuts on some of the little tacks that I put on there. I'm just going to pull this right off of here right now. Get this out of the way. No reason for it to be there anymore. And you can see how these hinges work. I'm going to do a little bit of trimming in there. So let's go ahead and get started and get this underway. Well, all right, I'm not quite sure what I did wrong, but it seems like it's fitting a little tighter than it did before, or at least it fits differently than it did before. It's still rubbing right here in the middle like it was doing a little bit, especially when it hits the gutter, but now it's hitting the inside of the A-pillar, which it didn't before. So I'm going to have to tweak that a little bit and get that adjusted. I don't know what the hell I did wrong. Technically, being that I moved it outwards and moved it inwards a little bit, it should have put the door further this direction. Well, all right, that answered my own question. I put it further 45 degrees roughly this way, which made it rub in here, which it didn't before. All right, well, I probably don't need to be putting it in so far that I need to bring it back out just a little bit. Just out a little bit, either that or I have to compromise and bring it this way a little bit more too. Yeah, it took me speaking out loud to determine exactly what I did wrong, but that makes sense. If I brought it more this way and more this way, that would put the door more 45 degrees to this direction, and that's why it's rubbing right here when it hadn't before. But the gutter still needs to come off. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start cutting at that now, because that's going to be the next thing that gets in the way. It's a lot closer than it was before. If I gently pull the door like that, I can go around the gutter. And it's a good fitment from this side. You know what? You guys have never seen that side. Let me put down my good old beverage and show you what we got here. This is what it looks like from the inside. Check that out. This is kind of what the door is going to look like from the inside. These hinges brackets are going to be hidden. They're going to be lopped off, so they're not going to be so long. But you can see how the door aligns and there's a bit of a gap. This gap in here will actually open up some because this is the gutter. I will be able to put my fingers completely through there. So that's actually not going to be an issue. Although it isn't right now when you look at it. It looks pretty good until you pull it right to about there. A 45-degree angle is when that lip that the door seal normally will go and gets caught on that gutter. But the gutter's going away, so I don't think that's going to be an issue. All right, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have a couple more sips of my lovely beverage, since it tends to make me more creative. Funny thing about alcohol, I'll tell you what, when it comes to building this car, rum has certainly made me a lot more adventurous and opened the doors to a lot of things that I probably wouldn't have done if I was completely sober. Ooh, that's good. It's actually rum, ginger beer, and cola. I went for the trifecta. I probably could have thrown a little bit of bitters on top of that and some lime, and I think it would have been really good. Not that it's not good now. I mean, this is great. Okay. Well, I see what needs to go on here. I think what I'm probably going to do next is I'm going to start nipping out this gutter that's in here. Yeah. Right in here, at least cut a section out of it. I can't just cut the whole thing off because there's two panels, the inside of the A-pillar and the front quarter. These are actually bonded together, and I don't think they're welded. I think they're crimped. There's two pieces of metal. There's the quarter, which comes around like this, actually more like this. I can't even contort my hand that way. Then the A-pillar comes around and it's crimped around the edge here, and I don't think it's welded. I don't see any weld marks at all. There's no spot welds. I think that when it was stamped, it was actually just crimped around it, and that's how it was manufactured. So anyway, I'm going to have to cut a few inches out of it, weld it, cut a few more inches out, weld it, and repeat the process until it's done all the way down to the bottom. But I think we're going to work on that the gutter next, because that's the next thing that's going to be in the way. All right, let's go ahead and get to it. Anyway, I don't know what happened, but I did a long time lapse of when I ground down the gutter that was over here, and I welded it all closed, and once again the GoPro eats up the video. So wow, that is just extremely aggravating. Anyway, you can see the gutter is gone. There's no longer a gutter over here. The side of the Beetle is now flat. Yeah, there's nothing sticking out. Anyway, frustrating as it may be, once again we lost another video with the stupid GoPro. Thanks, GoPro. All right, there we have it. No more gutter down this side. Nice and smooth. A couple spots still need to be ground down just a little bit, and there's a few pinholes here and there that need to be filled, but we'll get to that. Here's where the hinges opens to. Let's go ahead and fit that door piece back on there and see if the sliver clears the area where the gutter used to be. All right, I think that space is pretty even. Yeah, close enough. Still rubbing right here in the middle, and that's my fault. When I moved that hinge forwards and out, I made a mistake. I probably shouldn't have pushed it in that much. So it's just a little bit of rub right there, but when we get past that, it clears where the gutter used to be, no problem. It's just rubbing right here in the middle just a little bit. So I'm gonna have to make some clearance for that. But I love this right here. Flat, smooth. Looking along the side of the car, you're not gonna see any gutter there anymore. The little piece of gutter that's up here, as I said I was gonna do, I put a little cut into it, and I'm gonna just whack it with a hammer just a little bit so it has a little hook on the bottom, so any rain that comes off of it will sling forward. Of course, when you're moving at 60 miles an hour, that's not what it's gonna do. But really where the gutters are important is when you're opening and closing the door, of course, so you don't get, your clothes all wet as you're getting in and out of the car with everything that runs off the roof. All right, I think that's gonna do it. Make a couple of adjustments to this hinge here and stop this from happening, which is pretty minor. I mean, the door still opens and closes. It's just got a little rub right there. All right, back to my rum and coke break, and then we'll come back on this here and move that hinge a little bit more. All right, under closer investigation, looking at this here, it turned out the clamps that I was putting on it, these clamps here, when I was getting up inside of here, it was causing the skin to bend outwards like that. because they're too big. So I put some smaller clamps up here on the top and the bottom, and I used a piece of wood just to keep this thing square, because it turned out that the hinges weren't moving in the same position as they should have been. This keeps them in line and square with a nice solid piece of wood on there. So I clamped that on there too. This door is really flimsy without its other, 90%. So anyway, I got it figured out here, and where I thought it was tremendously rubbing in the middle, actually it's just barely touching now. So it still needs a little bit of tweaking, but my problem was actually the door. And because when I moved the hinges, I had to move the door to the opposite side of the hinge. It had to run through the door instead of on the outside of the door from where I had it. So it needed to be repositioned. It turned out it wasn't my work that was wrong, rather the clamping of the door and just how it was fitting together. It was causing the door to twist and causing pieces to stick out where they weren't supposed to stick out. Anyway, it's a pretty good fit now. It still needs a little more love. Still needs a little bit more love. On the inside, it looks like this. Okay. And you can see it has a smooth motion now, and it's just barely dragging in the middle, whereas before it was getting caught pretty heavily on that gutter. But since the gutter is gone, it's no longer going to be a problem. I think I'm good for the day. I'm going to shut this down. The sun's about to go down, and Ranchero 302 Me is having a party. And he's got hamburgers. And I'm a hamburger eater. I like hamburgers a lot. And beer, of course. And there's going to be both. So that's where I'm going to be going tonight. Well, wish I had more time to put into this, but like I said, I'm just too busy working on other people's crap rather than focusing more on my own. I'm just getting burnt out with life. I need to focus more on myself and tell people no more frequently. So anyways, that's life, and that's just what it boils down to. Just got to make it through the day every day, and I don't know, I think I'm just too good to people. I do too many things for too many people. I take care of too many people, even though I might seem like a bit of an asshole on the outside. When it comes down to it, I think I have a bigger heart than I show. At least that's my opinion of me anyway. But yeah, getting a little sick and tired of life. I'm gonna have to start telling people no, and you know what that means. I'm gonna lose a lot of friends. But anyway, I'm here to make a Volkswagen. I'm not here to make friends, right? Right? So that's where I'm at for the day. Please like, comment, subscribe, pluck that dingle belly. Don't forget to check out duckshit.net, my website, of course, where you can find all my different social media links, so you can find out what else I've been doing, so you can see what I've been doing when I haven't been working on this type of thing. Anyway, we're going to work on this, hopefully, if there's time tomorrow. If not, for sure, Saturday afternoon. This Saturday is going to be a tech session, so there'll be a video up on that over on my other YouTube channel, so please check that out. And I'm working on a new intro. Yes, I've been focusing real heavy on it this week, and let's just say I'm playing with some new programs to do some really, really nice rendering of a pretty new intro. For those of you that are complaining that the intro is too long, it condenses a lot of stuff into a much shorter segment. Not that you couldn't fast forward past it, because there is controls for that at the bottom of your screen. Yeah. Anyway, I don't need to get into that. But we're going to stop today. I think we're good for the day. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. I just realized I didn't actually show you just how close the thing drags, and I know there's going to be somebody that's going to ask. But there it is. You can see it's contacting right there, just a little tiny bit. I can pull it right past it, and it'll jump. It only needs a few extra millimeters, just enough to pull it out of the way. So I'm going to have to reposition those hinges just a little bit more. But yeah, it's just about there. There's no reason why I don't think that'll work. Thanks for watching, guys.